comments. Well,
There it is. There it is. What's good, everybody? Salute. This is
salute.
Word. This is Sixth Element of Hip Hop, and we are on. This is DC Day. This is our Saturday DC show where we talk strictly DC related and all things DC. And we got my name is Reno Noir, and this is my co-host
Stu Dog in the house.
And we got a special guest who always is on our Saturday DC show, Spadeonomics Comics. His name is Spade. He will be with us very shortly. He'll be popping in and chopping it up with us. In the meantime, between time, we got I'm sure there's tons of cool DC shit going on, man. I had a little bit of a tragedy this weekend. My beautiful, wonderful $450 Samsung Galaxy A71 screen was cracked, and all it was the glass was cracked. I could still see it function. I mean, it was pretty much decent. So I ordered this. I ordered this new glass piece to replace it, and they sent me all these neat little tools and stuff like that. So I popped on the YouTube video and I'm following along as he's doing the YouTube. I'm watching the YouTube video. I'm following him along with the tools and the kit, and I get to the point where I need an autoclave.
I was getting ready to say, get this, to scrape the screen off, huh?
Right,
the old one off,
all of that special chemical I had to squirt on there to loosen the shit. Hey, they didn't tell me none of that, and then none of that came in the kit. So basically, I fucked my own phone, destroyed it, completely destroyed it. So very, 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 very sad and crushed and pissed off about that, because
this is why they need to come. That's why they need to drop them flip phones again, man. People had less broken screens with flip phones, man.
I mean, yeah.
Clamshell design is ingenious, bro.
It is.
Why we got away from it, I don't know.
Well, cause there's so much more you can do with the big screen. I mean, the flip phone.
But you could make it.
You could
tiny. You could make your size phone and flip it. It could be. You could clamshell it, right?
Yeah, it could be a whole big thing, clack, and then it's like it's a foot.
You could make it. You can make it that thin, Reno, and it could flip right in. It could flip right in on itself.
But where's the flip? The lid gonna go? You gonna
No. Your phone is gonna be the lid. See how you got? Turn your phone around to the back. No, to the back. There you go. That'll be the back. That'll be what it folds into. That right there.
Right, but I'm saying is, where does the
you thinking old school? No, you thinking old school. We new school now. They can make it that thin and they can make it flip.
But what I'm saying is the flip.
Yes, sir.
There's a piece that flips.
Yeah, it can make it new technology, baby.
When I flip that,
did you see the Z Fold? You see the Z Fold? The Z Fold is just like that.
Open like a book.
Yeah.
But it still ends up being like that big when you open it up. Is what I'm saying.
Well, the hinges would be on the inside. Hinges would be on the inside. You know?
It don't matter what a hinge is, because the whole lid gonna be like, let's see, look. So for example, this is my lid, right? This is my thing. If I open it, now it's that big. Or if I open it this way, now it's this big. It's huge.
That's what we need in our lives.
I'm down with
this. I don't want no little screen. I don't want nothing small.
No, I don't want no small screen. I'm down with that. We could do that. We could do that lid with but they don't do it. That's what I'm saying. They only do the Z Fold deal or whatever, where it opens and it's
That's what I'm
screen is tiny.
We need to do it. We need to do it. We can do it. We need to do it. We can make a 6 element of hip hop clamshell phone with the 6 element logo on it.
I'm with it.
Different colors.
You bring the capital, and I will do the marketing.
Cool. We get it popping.
It's done.
We can get it popping. We could even have a comic inspired versions. We can get Marvel, DC, Image. I mean,
it's like
Milestone.
It's like a comic book that you open up.
Yeah, and we could call it the book. So it could be like a comic book. Right. Opens up like a comic book, but it's a phone.
Call it the slab.
The slab. That's what I'm talking about.
Slab fold.
The slab fold. The 6 element slab fold plus. We got the slab fold and the slab fold plus.
See? That's what it is. That's how we do. Yo, shout out Defective Chimp in the building and Diamond Onyx hanging out.
Diamond Onyx, peace. Defective Chimp, peace.
Word up.
Let's see. Last week I was watching the show. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it. You guys are talking about Green Lanterns. I just wanted to bring up how DC, and we've talked about it before on the Monday show, how DC doesn't give them their just due with exactly how powerful they are.
Right.
A Green Lantern, a single Green Lantern, could potentially take over a whole planet. A single Green Lantern, a focused Green Lantern, is actually very powerful. Like, because you gotta understand, they make light into constructs, all of them. So that doesn't matter if it's red, blue, green, orange, black. They actually focus light into physical constructs, and those physical constructs. Spade and Noms, what's up?
What's going on?
Those physical. What's happening? Much, man. What's up, man? What's going on? And those physical constructs can actually be manipulated to their advantage. The only thing that makes it not viable is their will. Well, their will is what makes it real.
Right.
But their focus is how strong it is. So the stronger their focus, you know what I mean, the stronger the construct. But the more willpower they have, the more, how can I say it, real that it'll be. So like in order to give it a solid form, you need willpower in order to project it. But in order to make it stay and to stand up against, bullet fire, rocket shells, whatever, you need focus. You have to be able to focus that in order to get it. And they show, like, I've seen videos, cartoons, red comics where they show Jokers just punch and throw them like they're nothing. And that's not true, because you got they can do different things. Like they can even make kryptonite. In a recent comic I just read, as long as the ring can scan it, it can reproduce it. So like if they were fighting Superman, they can make a giant piece of kryptonite.
You talking about the Green Lantern?
Yeah. Yes, the Green Lantern, yeah.
They can
Green
only
Lanterns,
do it for so long though.
Well, it depends on the power of the ring. So once the ring runs out of power,
don't last like at all. They don't last. That's what I'm saying. They can only do it for so long.
No, they last. It depends on their focus. That's why, because their focus is what makes them. I mean, if you leave it, yeah, but as long as they're projecting it, and it's coming from the ring, they literally actually, because they had this. I forget the little girl's name. I was reading Green Lantern #7 this week, and she actually has a gauntlet. So her gauntlet isn't even powered by a battery. The battery is worn on the back, and the ring has almost unlimited. It's just a straight gauntlet. It has almost unlimited power. And she actually made a bunch of constructs of the whole JSA. She was fighting a bunch of aliens, and
the one that John Stewart is training.
Right. She made about 8 constructs, and they were all JSA members. She was controlling them all at one time, and they were all fighting while she was fighting. So they really only in the Green Lantern comics they kind of show you how strong they can be, but when they throw them into other comics, they kind of weak them down a little bit. Because, like I said, a focused Green Lantern. If Starro was to take over Green Lantern and he had his ring, he'd be unstoppable. He'd literally be unstoppable because there's nothing that could distract him from his, like, let's say if he made a construct of a giant robot, there's nothing that could distract him and keep his focus off. So his construct would be very, very strong. It would take a lot to break his construct. And that's the whole focus behind him. You have to be a stronger willed individual or something yellow in order to overcome that green construct.
But and it's the same thing with the yellow weakness now, like in the new millennium, because used to be anything yellow was the Green Lantern's weakness.
Right.
So when Jeff Johns took over and then started writing it back, he negated that point of anything yellow can harm a Green Lantern. Now, Sinestro, a fear core ring, is pretty much just as powerful as a Green Lantern ring.
Right. They're all equally as powerful. It's just that when you green and yellow cancel each other out, just like the other ones cancel. You got blue, blue and orange. They might cancel. I forget how it goes, but certain ones cancel certain other ones out. But the only one that can cancel out a green is the yellow for green. But they can actually go blow for blow and dominate other ones without being canceled out. But you're right about the weakness. They used to just say it was their weakness, but it's not anymore.
But does it still cancel it out? Is that what does the yellow still cancel the green out?
Yeah, yellow and green can't cancel each other out. They literally just cancel each other out. They can sit there and have a fist fight or whatever, and depending on who has the stronger will and construct, or who, because I've seen in the comics where Sinestro's done things, I'd be like, damn, that was kind of ingenious what he did. Or I've seen a Green Lantern be like, yo, that was kind of dope. And like there's a Green Lantern that's a planet. There's a living planet that's a Green Lantern. Yeah, Modo. It's just a straight up planet.
Mogo is a whole planet like Earth. That is
a living planet. Yeah, he's a living planet.
He's like Ego, Marvel's Ego.
Basically. Yeah,
basically,
without the magical properties, I guess.
Right. No, yeah. It's just a straight living planet. Yeah, he's just a straight living planet. He's a conscious sentient being, but a planet. And he actually is a Green Lantern. But they don't
would probably beat Starro if you talk about Starro having a Green Lantern ring and Mogo being a Green Lantern that is a planet. That would be the only way you could negate Starro being a Green Lantern.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Starro, if you let's say if John Stewart had got a Starro on his face, he would be more focused. And Hal Jordan is probably one of the most focused individuals ever carry a ring. I mean, at one point he was, yeah.
The big star thing
the star thing that was the Starfish
Squad, yeah.
Yeah. So because you have because when you break it down, Green Lanterns they're very powerful. Like they just don't tell you how powerful they are. Like even I read a comic one time where they were fighting Amazo, and they were calling Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan shows up, and Batman's like, "Yo, please don't let him come, because if Amazo absorbs his powers, we pretty much won't be able to stop him." And this was before Superman came, and he wound up coming, because Hal Jordan's hard headed. I'll take care of this. He comes, Amazo winds up duplicating his power, and it was just lights out for the league members after that, because they showed how powerful Amazo is. Once he got Superman's power, he was pretty much unstoppable.
They did that in Justice League cartoons.
Yeah, they did that as well.
Amazo showed up and he copied, I think it was Flash's first, then Hawk Girl second. Then he eventually got to Wonder Woman, and Batman, like Stu was saying, Batman told him the same thing. Like, look, if Martian Manhunter, John Stewart, and Superman show up, we're screwed. Y'all don't need to show up.
Right. It's no more fight after that. Right.
Yeah. And of course they did anyway, and he copied all of their powers, and then Amazo was pretty much like, okay, I'm done with what I can do here. I need to ascend. So he eventually became basically like a god. But with him, if I want to say they would have had a difficult time anyway if he had absorbed just one of their powers, even if it was just Wonder Woman. But him absorbing Martian Manhunter, copying Martian Manhunter, John Stewart, and Superman's powers made him unbeatable.
Yeah, that made him pretty much unstoppable. Yeah, you're right. But but like I said, DC just doesn't pay homage to the Green Lanterns. I think they should. I really think that they should. They really don't, because if you take Kilowog. Kilowog is a perfect example. He's really good. He's good with his ring. There's a lot of little tricks he knows, a lot of little things he can do.
He be training them.
Yeah, he trains them.
Mm-hmm.
But like they said, when Kyle Rayner became a Green Lantern, he literally showed people that whatever you imagine it, because he's a comic book artist. So they really was just like whatever you can imagine and you can construct. And that's where they kind of ran wild with Kyle Rayner, because they were like, look, he's a comic book artist. We can do this, we can do that. And his imagination was really wild. I mean, that's why when they came out the movie, I thought that Ryan Reynolds would have been a better Kyle Rayner, but not a Hal Jordan. He can't be Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan's more like Spade. Spade could play Hal Jordan, but not Ryan Reynolds. No, Ryan Reynolds can't play Hal Jordan.
I thought with Ryan, I was like, when people say that, I'm like, yeah, I could see him being more of a Kyle Rayner than Hal Jordan. I didn't think the movie was terrible. I mean, I wasn't super ecstatic, but I was just like, I didn't hate it. Don't get me wrong, I can watch it. It's like, it's not like Spider-Man 3. I can't watch that movie.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, Spider-Man 3.
It's not like that. Like if Green Lantern's on, or if I think about it, I can watch that movie. Now, the more and more I have watched it, I'm like, yeah, I see people's point where he would have made a better Kyle Rayner than Hal Jordan. And then, like with the talk going around about having a new Green Lantern, either movie or series on HBO Max, and them focusing on a different one, I was like, my first guess was Jon Stewart. I would like to see Jon Stewart on the big screen in live action. Well, who would play him? My first choice is the one that voiced him in the video game, Justice League video game on PlayStation, Michael Jai White.
Michael Jai White, yeah.
Yeah, Michael Jai White, yeah.
He would be a great Jon Stewart. I'm like, if I know Tyrese has been politicking to get, I'm like, if Tyrese get it, I'm gonna find
I'm not even going. No, Tyrese. Yeah.
I'm just like,
yeah, Tyrese. No,
he is not Jon Stewart.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I like Tyrese and Baby Boy. I think he killed that movie. Not crazy about much else. I mean, the Fast and the Furious shit was all right, but I don't know a whole lot about him outside of Baby Boy. Baby Boy is one of that's a classic right there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know enough about Jon Stewart to know which one, who would play him best. But yeah, I mean, the just so you know, Spade, the basis, the start of this conversation was that Stu was saying how he feels like DC doesn't really tell or talk about how powerful the Green Lanterns really are unless it's in their own comics. But I think that's kind of the same for any character. Like, you see a character in their own comic doing all kinds of shit, but if they're over in another comic, they kind of got to nerf them a little bit so that the star can shine, or the main character of that comic can shine. I think that's probably what they do a lot. Shout out to Pretty Nerdy. So I won this little contest, and she sent me this nice Tyler Kirkham hardcover graphic novel. So I'm definitely gonna get into this and read it. What do y'all think about this? Is New 52 Green Lantern, the New Guardians.
New Guardians. I actually I didn't read much of the New Guardians in the New 52, but it was a great story because you had lanterns from different
colors,
purple ones,
cores and colors,
together, so to speak. So it's like they're their own, basically their own space police, their own league, if you will. I mean, it was, it got a lot of great attention, and I don't know how well the book sold. I know, like, I had a lot of friends here in Alabama that were they subscribed to it instead of like the Red Lanterns or the Green Lantern itself, because they wanted to know more about the color spectrum than just the green and red or the yellow or whatever.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You got black in here, like gray. What is that? Black.
Yeah, you got black, gray, orange. Yeah, black, gray, orange. No, black, gray, orange, yellow. They just added 2 more colors too, right?
They got purple. They got blue.
And they just added 2 more colors.
A white and a black.
There's a white and black.
A violet. Orange, yellow, red, green, and blue.
And they just added 1 or 2 more. I forget the colors. Damn, I got the I don't have the thing with me. I had the comic shop news where they were talking about it. They just added like 2 more colors or something like that.
This guy seems to have he's got the orange, the blue, the green, the yellow, the purple, the black, and the red rings on all of them. He rocking all the rings. See that? It's like the Infinity Gauntlet or something, right?
Yeah. I think it was on my old Instagram that got deleted, but I have a picture where I took I got 5 lantern rings on one fist and the Infinity Gauntlet on another.
Yeah, that's a beast right there.
So I was like, shit,
Exactly.
I'm like, who control the power now?
Yeah, it takes a lot of willpower to control all those. I know Hal Jordan had like 8 on at one time. There's a picture of him with 8 on. I forget the name of the storyline where he did that.
Oh,
He
when
put
he
on like
became Parallax.
yeah, he can't yeah 8 rings at one time. He was just
Yeah, he had 8 Green Lantern rings on. It was like you know, he had them all like this, had this like sinister grin on his face, man.
yeah.
Yeah. Yo, this is crazy. Look at the purple joints. The purple joints is crazy. But this guy right here, this is the I don't know what Green Lantern this is. What's
That's
his name?
That's Kyle Rayner.
Kyle Rayner.
That's Kyle Rayner.
Now is he okay? I think he's the one that I like. You got the black suit kind of.
Yeah.
And this is dope too. This is Tyler Kirkham. I mean, the art is fucking stunning in this book. And what's dope, but yeah, this is the part right here, and it looks like he's got all the rings, and they just come out. They say, "You have been chosen," right? The purple one, the yellow one, "You have been chosen. You have been chosen. You have been chosen. You have been." So all these rings had to choose him.
He was the only one to wield all them rings at one time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was the only one worthy that was within distance. Yeah. Because you have to be worthy to wield the ring. It just doesn't pick anybody.
Now who
he
are these
also
guys?
became one of the strongest lanterns Green Lanterns at one time too. They named him. We went from being transcended from being just a Green Lantern to the name Ion.
Ion, yeah. And Ion is. I just read an article, Spade, about that. They were talking about Ion being the strongest Green Lantern in the Corps, or that the Corps has ever had, and the most. They said he was the most. He was the strongest, and he was the most noble of them all, like of all the Lanterns or something like that. I gotta find. I'll send you the article when I get a chance.
So is
But it
this
was dope,
Ion?
and they broke it down.
Yeah.
He's wearing all the rings and shit. That's Ion.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to Pretty Nerdy, man, for sending me this book. I'm about to get into this. This book is dope. I mean, the art is crazy, and what a cool story, man, with all the different lanterns. Who are these guys? The blue guys, these blue people.
Those are the Guardians.
Those are the Guardians.
They seem like Guardians, like they kind of run shit.
They do. They run. They're actually the head of the Green Lantern Corps.
They think they do.
Yeah.
they are the ones that are in charge, but it's just like anybody else that's going to question your authority. Like, you think you have supreme power, but you're not out here doing what we do.
Right.
And that's another reason why Sinestro rebelled against them.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, because he just didn't agree with their politics. And like you said, he kind of had his own politics, and he just was like, you know what? Why am I even listening to these guys? And they just always warned him about the yellow. Yellow is bad. But Sinestro was like, well, wait a minute, I don't think so. Wait a minute. So it was just he became his own guardian of his own Corps. He became the guardian of his own Corps. But Sinestro was also a good. He's a powerful lantern. He's a powerful Green Lantern as well.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah, he was. Because even in the movie, he was like the main dude with all the clout and shit. But shout out to Angelo Bolanos. He said, I like the actor who played Dr. Dre in the NWA movie to play John Stewart. Who is the actor?
I could see that. I could see it. I could see that.
I'm trying to think who that actor was.
I don't know his name, but I know what you're talking about.
I picture him, but okay. That's interesting, man. I mean, yeah, I didn't hate the movie. I didn't hate the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern. I didn't know shit about Green Lantern before that, outside of what I knew from as a little kid watching the cartoons and all of that. But I didn't even know how the constructs worked and the ring and all of that. So that movie was cool for teaching you, if you didn't know about DC or if you didn't know about Green Lanterns, for teaching you about how it all worked. You That was a cool part about it.
There's a graphic novel that Stu, I don't know if you read it or not, but it's called. It was before the New 52. It's in the mid 2000s, around 2000, between 2003 2006. It's called Green Lantern Rebirth, and it's when they actually brought Hal Jordan kind of back to life, back to being a Green Lantern. He didn't have the
I
temple
remember that.
grades anymore. He was younger.
No, he
Jeff
was
Johns
younger.
made him younger,
Yeah,
and
it was a dope story.
it was great, and I'm like, that's one that Reno, if you get a chance to read that, start with that. That'll give you a better understanding of the Green Lantern story and how they do, how they operate, and also more of a insight into Hal Jordan's psyche, if you will. Another great one, if you want to understand the how all the lantern rings work, the color spectrum. Read a novel called War of the Green Lanterns, War of the Lanterns. So you have every color spectrum, and they're warring against each other. They're fighting, basically not for survival, but who is the greatest, so to speak.
Yeah, for
And
domination.
that'll take you to the New 52, because spoiler alert, that's when Sinestro becomes a Green Lantern again.
Ah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's dope, man. I love the Green Lantern. I always love the characters, man. So that's definitely one I want to get into. Angelo Bolano said, "Did y'all hear about Michael B. Jordan producing a new Superman movie?"
Mm-hmm.
That's the one, right? That's the one where it's kind of like another universe,
right?
Black
it's
Superman.
It's part of the what do you call it? The Infinite Earths.
The multiverse.
The multiverse.
Yeah.
So it's Superman, but it's just on a different Earth. Because a lot of people was like, well, how could it was like you always say, Reno, people was like, well, how could you make Clark Kent or Kal-El, how could you make him black? Well, he is on another Earth.
On another Earth.
On another Earth, it's just everything's just different.
Yeah.
So that's how they did it. You know, he is Superman, but that's the version that he is. There's a DC comic out now where they're writing. I think it's called DC Nights, where the one that's out now is what if Superman landed in medieval times instead of instead of like the 80s. And you know, it's just a spin on it that I like. I like that spin that they put on that. Where you got the different Earths, you got different Batmans, you got Batman by Gaslight, you got a Batman, you got different Supermans, different Wonder Womans. You know, but the one that
they're going to end up with that movie. They're going to end up making them Val Zod. I don't know why. I just have that feeling.
I like Val Zod too. I do like Val Zod too.
Because it's just like you can, and don't get me wrong. You know, Stu, I agree with your points, especially with the multiverse. You can do like somewhere else on another Earth, another timeline. Yeah, Superman is black. Clark Kent is black. And just like you talked about with the you know, if he had landed in medieval times, we got the Red Sun. If he had landed in Russia, but I'm just like, I still believe the Michael B. Jordan movie, they're going to end up making them Val Zod. It's just, I don't know why I had that feeling.
I hope so, because I like Val Zod.
Who's going to be Val Zod?
I don't know who would play him, but
no, I mean, what is that? What is that?
That's the Black Superman. He's the comic called Earth 2 in New 52.
He's not Kal-El, he's Val Zod.
Right.
Gotcha. Right. But he's Kryptonian, right?
But he is Kryptonian.
He is Kryptonian.
Like Zod. Yeah. Angelo has a question. Shout out Hard Chronic. What's good? I don't know who that is, if that's Chronic Schizo from Instagram, if that, but either way, salute Hard Chronic. And Angelo said, what is DC's metaverse?
That's the metals. That's the metalverse. The thing they just did with the what is this on the tip of my tongue? The metal. Remember I seen the videos? The Dark Knight metal. Yes, thank you. That's what that is. That was by what is his name? The director. I thought they were gonna make movies out of it, but I guess not. I thought we were at least gonna get like a animated film or something. We didn't get any. I mean, they were putting out these little snippets with they were putting out the snippets with the hard rock guitar riffs on YouTube, but that was it. That was all we got. Yeah, the metal series was good, but to me it's kind of complicated. Like I don't know. It was a lot. It was just a
You
lot
got
at one
Dark
time.
Knight's metal, Dark Knight's death
Dark
metal. You
Knight
got
Death Metal,
another
right? Yeah,
metal.
Metal. Yeah, it was just a lot, man. It was. I can't say the stuff I read wasn't good. It was just a lot to soak in. Like at one
Right.
point, yeah, I'm like, man. And then somehow they kind of weaved it into the main DC universe. Like I don't know,
Yeah,
bro. It's a lot, man. It's a lot.
it definitely changed continuity.
Yes, it
Mhm.
did.
But,
Yes, it did.
it definitely did. But you get, I say it birthed new titles and characters that weren't used previously, got to shine or get shine now. So it's definitely different, and yeah, it can get confusing, it can get convoluted, but I guess that's their whole thing with the inclusivity and there's a comic book for everybody. It's like, well, but also same point in time, DC also has an extended library of characters that they just sit on, and it's just like,
Yeah.
don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, I love Superman, I love
Milestones.
Wonder Woman, but how many different titles can these characters have, and
Right.
many runs, many series can these characters have before you got, Nubia, or you got different Green Lanterns, you have Wally West Flash, you got Jay Garrick Flash, you got so many different characters and versions of characters, and it's just like you're just sitting on them. You don't have nothing to do with them. How many titles does Batman need? How many titles does Superman need? Like,
Right.
seriously?
Right, right. Which you know what, Spade? I agree because I think DC is afraid to move away from their main characters like they won't sell. But that's not the truth. Like you said, I don't need 20 Batman titles. I don't need five different Superman titles explaining Superman in five different ways. Like when Man of Steel came out, I remember I think it was my son or somebody we were talking, they were like, why does he have a beard? What I said, because the Man of Steel series is based in reality.
Mm,
It's just literally based in reality. So sometimes he grows a beard. He don't shave. He flies around. He does, and even as Clark Kent, he just has a beard. And in this reality, he pays rent. He has a job. He doesn't spend a lot of time at the Fortress of Solitude. Him and Lois Lane are a thing. They got an
mm-hmm.
apartment together. I was like, it's literally based in reality. I think that was good for the screen. But then, like I said, coming from the Dark Knight series, it's just time to go back to using your imagination. We've had enough of all that, especially Batman being based in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So give us back the gray suit with the yellow belt. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Or give us the blue suit with the dark blue cape and the yellow belt. Take it back. Or you can give us the black suit with the yellow belt. Hook us
Yeah.
up. But for the most part, take it back, man. I mean, DC's afraid, and like you said, they shelve a lot of characters. Look at the whole milestone line. Those are some very ingenious characters,
Yeah.
well thought out,
Mm-hmm.
They're
well,
finally
very
doing stuff
articulate.
with them. They got a static movie, live action movie coming.
Static should have been
Can't
had a
wait.
movie. Icon
Yeah.
should be at the forefront of the DC universe.
He
I
should
mean, you
definitely
bought
be
these
in the Justice
characters.
League. He should be in the Justice League, straight up. He should be
Yeah,
right
I
up
mean,
there.
they used Icon in the Young Justice cartoon.
Yes,
They
they did.
used Static in the Young Justice cartoon.
They
They
used
used
Rocket.
a
Rocket was
variant,
in there.
yeah, Rocket as
Yeah,
well.
Rocket
You're
was
right.
in there. Rocket was in there as well.
And
Yeah.
so it's just like these are characters that you kind of tiptoed into. It's like wading into a kiddie pool, so to speak. We're gonna see how it is. And people were looking at people that read comics like us, like, oh snap, they got Icon on here. Ooh, that's Rocket. There's Static. Static had his own cartoon in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yes, he
So
did.
it's like these are characters that people are clamoring to see. It's not that they're lesser known. You just sit on them for what? People know, people have read, but
Right.
and also some might not. But it's just like introduce them to it.
Yeah,
I
they
think it's
market it
great
for him.
what they're doing now with the milestone, but it's like let them do something in ongoing series. Continue what
Yeah.
they're doing, building on it. Icon in the Justice League, introduce them in the Justice League. You changed it so much, you might
Right.
as well introduce them in it,
Might as
or
well
if you're
did
going
right.
to do another separate Justice League book, let him head that up. He already is head of Blood Syndicate.
Right. But remember they had in the 80s they had Justice League, Justice Society, Justice League of America, Justice League of Europe. You know what I mean? I mean, come on, just do another. He could be he could be ahead of the European team, or just be part of the European team. I mean, something. But they had multiple Justice League comics in the 80s. I remember them.
And they continued them in the 90s too. And they always had multiple Justice League comics. Even, in New 52, you had Justice League International, Justice League United, Justice League Dark, which was magical.
Yeah, they almost did Justice League Queer.
There you go.
Yeah. Well,
they got the JLQ.
So it's just like you got so many variations of Justice League. You can fit characters in that you can't fit into it. And then at the same time, it was like at one point they quote unquote broke up the Justice League, but like the core members had their own.
Right.
Wonder Woman early in Rebirth, Wonder Woman joined up with Justice League Dark. Batman had the Justice League of America. So I'm like, now they got their own teams. They're spinning up their own team. You can rotate members in and out like really well, and it'll still work.
It still work. Yeah, you're right.
Is Blood Syndicate the same as Crime Syndicate?
No.
Okay. Because Crime Syndicate is the mafioso Justice League, the gangster Justice League, I guess, from another multiverse. And and there's a comic called Crime Syndicate. So I was wondering, Angelo said he'd love to see Suicide Squad versus Blood Syndicate battle.
Yeah.
That'd be a good battle. I really would.
Because right now they got Justice League, they got Suicide Squad versus the Justice League in the video game. And
the Suicide Squad comic right now is a hot comic. It is truly a hot comic right now.
Of course. Anytime.
I mean, no, not really, because just the storyline. Like the story.
Good writers work on it because it's popular.
Right, the ongoing story right now for oh God, I'm going like
You talking about the new series with Peacemaker?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't read that, and the reason I hadn't is because Suicide Squad since before the New 52 and since New 52 had a reputation of starting out really hot and then telling off.
Yeah. Well, this one's ongoing there after like issue, I think 7 or 8, and it's still going strong.
Okay.
It's really good. It's still going strong. Even the annual was dope. Like the annual, I was like, oh yeah, the annual was good. Yeah, the annual #1, it was good. Suicide Squad right now is a hot comic. It's a hot DC comic.
Yeah.
I mean, the story is good. Right? It's really, really good.
I just hope Warner Brothers don't make any more Suicide Squad movies, because I was disappointed with both of them.
You didn't even like the second one?
I thought they were decent, man. I thought they were. I could watch both of them.
Well, that's your favorite.
I thought they were both decent.
The first one. That's Stu's favorite Joker from the first Suicide Squad.
I like Jared.
I do. Yeah, I like the Jared Leto as Joker.
It would have been great if they didn't make it as comical to try to compete with Deadpool, and number 2, it was like they really needed somebody to fight other than their own or Enchantress's brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was.
So it was like that movie could have been really great. It's just like it was like the studio just screwed it up. And
you know what, Spade, it actually paying homage to the comic books when they first came out with Suicide Squad. Their first mission was against somebody like Enchantress. It was like almost they just changed the characters. It was against the magical. It was just all magical, and they had to fight, and they won. They came out, but I think they just when you try to mix too much, it just doesn't turn out right. I think they should have, like you said, they should just came out with something original. You know what I mean? Except for Enchantress' brother, and it would have probably been better.
So what did
you when I read and have read Suicide Squad books, it's like a darker tone. You're looking for who's
Yeah,
not gonna make it out this mission. You know,
yeah.
who are they gonna kill? Who are they gonna have to take out? I didn't get
Yeah.
that sense with either movie. You
So
know,
that's okay. I was going to ask you what was your gripe with the second movie and stuff. So they were basically they're trying to follow that formula that all comic movies have tried to follow since Guardians of the Galaxy's success, and that's the comedy slash comic movie. But so you feel like they were not dark enough, they were too funny, they were too jokey and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's kind of the way I felt. It
I
was
agree
like,
with that.
you know, they upped the violence factor in the second movie. I can say that for sure. I
Yeah,
was like, now I
yeah,
was real pleased about that. You know, that was like,
yeah.
hey, that's pretty cool.
The
It
graphics
just
were
needed,
great.
yeah,
Mhm.
it just needed to have a darker tone to it
I feel you, like
to
more of like
make it a
Batman,
truly
Superman.
Suicide Squad movie.
Right.
It
Yeah,
was
like
like,
Blade, like the first Blade movie. So
yes,
it was like the first Blade movie. If it
Mhm.
had that type of tone to it,
Yeah.
yeah,
that would have been great.
And that's what they're doing with the DCEU and the Justice League movie and stuff. They're trying to make them dark, and the Batman, Superman, and ever since Man of Steel. But that's what Hollywood does. Like, and that sucks for us because all they do is when something's successful, they get the cookie cutter out, they take a picture of it, right?
Yeah,
Start
yeah.
stamping that shit on everything, and it's just
Yep.
everything is just whatever the last successful thing is. They just try to copy it and reproduce it and reproduce it, and we end up getting a whole lot of crap that doesn't mean nothing because it's convoluted. It's just made up, to
hmm
copy the last successful thing. But yeah. But okay, so one of the biggest Superman storylines in decades begins in this sneak peek at this next week's Action Comics 1036. So that's coming as Action Comics. For generations, the brutal despot known as Mongol has ruled his realm of galactic gladiators known as Warworld and,
World.
and with an iron fist, with his eye on conquering and enslaving innocent lives throughout the cosmos, and his unhidden desire to add the Man of Steel to the ranks of his fighters. Mongol has clashed with Superman and the heroes of the Justice League often for years, and yet he's never been fully deposed. Each time he's been taken down, another mogul has risen in his place, crueler than the one before. For the poor souls fighting for their lives of world freedom has been a distant dream, with the only hope of ending their turmoil arriving at the end of a sword or axe. In the eyes of Earth's heroes, it's as if Mongol ceased to be a problem once he left our orbit, out of sight, out of mind. It's a shocking, almost unbelievable truth. It's at odds with everything Superman says he believes, and it ends now. Philip Kennedy Johnson and Daniel Sampier's Action Comics 1036 kicks off the War World saga. Well, I can't say that. One of the biggest, most impactful Superman storylines in nearly 30 years. The Man of Steel has left Earth, promoted his son John in his place, recruited a surprising new team that isn't afraid to get their hands dirty, and embarked on a mission to liberate Warworld and depose Mongol once and for all. It's likely to be the biggest, most challenging battle since he first crossed fists with Doomsday, and is one that the future visiting John has warned he won't survive. We weren't kidding about that Doomsday comparison, folks. Yeah, and whether you're a longtime Superman fan reader or just a general DC fan, this is a storyline you're not going to want to miss. But if you have any doubts or just can't wait to dive in, check out our exclusive first look at the debut chapter. Uh, and this is on DCComics.com. So y'all can check that out. But man, I don't know about y'all. That sounds amazing. Like
I'm not
that's
surprised. I love Mongol. I always thought Mongol was one of the better characters or villains DC ever made up. He's just as strong as Superman, just as durable. Whole nine
mm,
yards, but for some reason Superman always comes out on top. And he's also commander of Warworld,
right.
which is a whole planet that is designed specifically for war. And that puts out these little robots. It can do it's a lot. There's a lot because there's different versions of Warworld too. But when I first heard of Mongo, he was on a planet. We had an arena. It was like a gladiator type thing,
hmm
and Superman was there, and he wound up fighting in his games, and him and Mongo wound up, going toe to toe. Then another comic I read where Superman actually captured him and had him in the Fortress of Solitude. Mongo breaks out. They get into a big fight. they tear the whole Fortress of Solitude up. Mongol is that dude. Like he is that dude. But like we said earlier, DC sits on a lot of characters. They don't give them their just due, and they don't. Same thing with the Green Lanterns. They don't really show you how strong Mongol really is, how powerful he really is physically.
Is he that guy that?
Mongol was. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, is he that guy that's purple? He looks like a goblin, like Green Goblin. Is that purple guy?
Hang on, I got you guys. Hang on, watch. I'll show you.
He's more orange skin, but Mongol was created strictly as a foil for Superman because DC needed somebody physically imposing.
Yes,
toe with the Man of Steel, and they were like, I think it was Jules Schwartz who came up with the character, and he was just like, trying to find somebody in like almost dark side type level, but not as powerful, but could still present a physical problem for the Man of Steel.
Here's Mongol right here.
Oh,
here's
wow,
Mongol. Can we get a full? Yeah,
that looks a little bit like your boy. Who's the other guy? Fucking not Dark Side. It's a little bit like Dark Side to me.
Yeah, really.
I mean, he's got the
I don't see the resemblance.
Square face, with the gray face, with the big brow. Yeah. But no,
I don't see the resemblance. I just don't see the resemblance. You could be right. I mean, but
the big forehead, the gray face, the gray square.
Hey, that definitely don't do nothing for the misconception that all intergalactic warlords look alike.
Right. Right. They all look alike.
But this is Mongol, folks. This is Mongol, just in case.
And Mongol also has I know he has a daughter. Doesn't he have a son too, Stu? His daughter's name is Mongal.
Yeah, Mongal. Yeah, he's got a son too. He's got a son and a daughter.
And that was what I was thinking. I'm like, I know he had a daughter. I think he had a son too. But Mongal, she just as ruthless as her father.
Yes, she is. Yes, and I like her. I like Mongal. I really do, bro. I mean, I like the whole concept of Mongol. I really do, bro. I think it was when I first, like I said, when I first read Mongol, I thought it was dope. I was like, yo, like who is this dude? Because the only other person we ever saw go toe to toe with Superman was what's his name? The one with the kryptonite in his chest.
Metallo.
Yeah, he's the only other one we ever seen. Besides, every now and then Solomon Grundy, but that's a Batman. That's one of Batman's, arch enemies. But Metallo is the only other one we ever seen besides Zod.
Yeah.
And they don't even give Zod the credit, But in the Man of Steel movie, they gave Ursa All. They gave her a lot of props when she fought Superman. She was kind of whooping Soup. She was whooping Soup down. Soup.
Yeah,
she was giving Soup work. She was giving him work. Soup was looking like, damn, I could hold up, but the look on his face shows the way it should be. When he was trying to hit her, she was dodging him, and he looking like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, bro, they just as fast as you. They're just as strong.
The only thing I disagree that I'm like, Man of Steel is probably my favorite Superman movie. The only thing I disagree with about it is how fast, like Zod and Ursa, they got their powers.
Man of Steel was amazing.
Because I was just like,
Man of Steel was amazing.
But
it was amazing.
Man. I'm like,
people rag on it. Yeah, people rag on it, but I
don't see why people rag on it. But
I think it was a great movie.
That would be the only nitpick. But other than that, I'm like, I ain't nitpicking because I'm like, man, every time it's like this, she would dodge, like you said. And then he had to fight Non at the same time too. Before getting to General Zod. It was like a video game. He had to fight the underbosses before getting to the big boss.
Before he got to the big boss, right?
Yeah.
But you got to remember too. Remember what Zod told him. It might have took you a while to figure out how to use your powers, but I was bred for this. Like I was bred for war.
He figured that shit out in a day. Like he was
right, and that's what he did. So you can say the same thing about them as well. They were, because in the beginning they tell you like they bred people for certain things. Like they were the soldiers. They were their warriors, and that's what they were bred for. And like Zod said, look, like I figured this out way before you. And the next thing you know, he flying. He like, yeah, what's up now? So Superman's like, oh shoot. Like, damn, it
Man,
took me a few days. It took me. I was crashing in the
I went
mountains.
to the movie theaters like 3 times, man. And I'm like, I can watch it right now, and I still get the same feel as the first time I watched it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I thought it was dope too.
Hell
I
yeah,
did really. But
that was
but
the
then
Superman
speaking
movie.
of,
I'm not
but
crazy about Superman movies. Like they were,
no,
not. I'm not really
not
crazy
the.
about them.
Wait
Like
a
when I was
minute. Wait a
little,
minute.
the
Wait a minute.
Christopher
Whole
Reeves.
time out.
Yeah,
What
I'm
about the
just.
first one? What
Hold
about
on.
the
Tell me,
Christopher
wait.
Reeves? What
Reno,
about the
explain
Christopher
why you're not
Reeves?
crazy about it.
All right, thank you. They Christopher Reeves is my boy. Like they was cool, but they were a little bit. I don't want to offend nobody. It was a little bit hokey. They were a little bit corny, a little bit cheesy.
Whoa,
But
whoa.
Wait. Let
hear
him
me.
finish.
But and the first one was great. I mean, the first one's a classic, no question, hands down. They got cheesier and cheesier till they end up the one with Supergirl and but then like this new movie, this Man of Steel joint was official, dog. That shit was hard. I mean, it was sci-fi. It had its dark tones. It had its reality. It was just amazing. Like I became a Superman fan. Like that movie made me that movie brought me back into it where I was like, this is a character I hope they keep doing this.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. That's just me.
No, hey, listen, you entitled to your opinion. I get it. But for me, I like all of them, man. I thought they were all great.
They
Except for
have the
Superman 3 and Superman
I'm
4. You can
I'm gonna
keep
go
that.
right in between with y'all.
You can keep those.
Because
Now I tell you a little
Superman 1
tidbit.
and 2
They
were
were great.
great. And
They were
even
great.
Kevin Feige, Marvel movie president, says they reference Superman 2 in a lot of, like, they study it when they're making a Marvel movie. To them, that's a quintessential movie, superhero movie. So I love
Yeah.
Superman 1 and 2. I like Superman 3, okay. It was like, Reno, you talking about the hokiness, that's when it started kicking in.
Superman
Because
3 was bad.
you had the
Superman 3 was
disagreement
bad.
between, no, Superman 3 wasn't bad. Superman 4 was bad.
That's the one I
Superman
thought
4 was horrible. Superman 4 was horrible.
Superman 4 was Spider-Man 3 bad.
Right.
Yeah,
Now,
Superman
4
4
was
was
the
horrible.
one with
Now
the guy
you
with the black suit with the lightning on his chest. Was that 4?
Eradicate. I guess
Yeah,
his name was what?
Nuclear Man.
Nuclear Man. Yeah.
Mhm.
And Supergirl was
Yeah.
Superwoman or something? Supergirl?
She wasn't in it yet.
No,
No,
they made Supergirl
Supergirl
movie.
had her own movie. It
Right.
was a
Now the
spin-off. She had her own
right.
movie.
That's
Now
right.
here's a tidbit for you. The Supergirl movie actually was Superman 5. They scrapped it and went
Right.
with Supergirl because they thought it would be better because Superman 4 did so bad. It was just so
Yep.
bad. They thought nobody would want to see another Superman. So they said, well, let's just go with Supergirl. And that was just even horrible as well.
And that was even worse.
I
Right.
dug her. I dug her. I had a little crush on her and shit. Like she was fine to me. Supergirl was fine to me.
She would look. Helen Slater was beautiful back then.
Oh, yes, she was.
She
Yeah.
was.
She was. She
I
was
give
finer
her
than
a proper
Froghair.
word. They just gave her a bad movie.
Right.
Yeah, he did, bro.
Right.
The script was just bad. It was bad.
And
like I said, but
one
of the reasons why I stayed is because it literally started off as a regular Superman movie. So they kind of reworked it with Supergirl. And that's why when you watch it,
Sal Khan, man, when after Donna left Superman 2 and the Sal Khan, and Warner Brothers producers, they wanted to write, of course, like how they do, wanted to write their own. Superman 3 was the comedy. It was like people like it's watchable, but it wasn't Superman movie.
It wasn't great.
Superman 4 was terrible. It was just a drizzling shit. Supergirl wasn't that much better. Then you get to Superman Returns with Brandon Routh, and a lot of people didn't like that one because they were just like, well, it was too much like the Christopher Reeve Superman. It was like that's what they were going for. That's what Brian said.
Right. That's the That was the direct.
What's his name? Your boy from 7. What was his name? The killer from 7. Kevin Spacey. Was that the one with Kevin Spacey?
Yes, that's one Kevin Spacey and the guy from DC Heroes of Tomorrow, the one that plays Adam.
Ray Palmer.
Yeah, that plays Adam. Ray Palmer. You got to remember now. Superman Returns is another tidbit. Is a direct sequel to Superman 2.
too.
So once they made Superman Returns, yes, you're supposed to chop off Superman 3 and 4,
See, I
and you
feel
go
that
Superman 1, 2, and Returns.
I feel that because Kevin Spacey and the sidekick, like that whole dynamic would definitely reminded me of Gene Hackman and the chubby dude, like, you know what I mean? That whole Superman 2. Yeah, I definitely can see that. That's cool. That's interesting.
Yeah, sort of like Terminator. Like Terminator, the last Terminator movie was a direct sequel to Terminator 2. So every other Terminator movie is null and void.
Yeah. Just like Halloween Kills. Like Halloween Kills was a direct sequel to like Halloween 2. Like they took it back. Yeah.
Because Halloween 3 was horrible. It was just horrible.
Halloween 3 had nothing to do with Michael Myers.
It did, man.
It
wasn't even it. It was just another movie like about horror. I don't even know why they called it Halloween 3. It was very
odd. It didn't make any sense.
Nobody really understands it.
It had nothing and people was hyped. And people was hyped to see it.
Because they thought it was going to be another Halloween movie, but they were like, what the fuck is this? Where's Michael Myers?
What the hell is this?
Has nothing to do with anything.
But but Superman Returns being that direct sequel, like I said, a lot of people were polarized by it. Some liked it, some really liked it, some hated it.
He's right.
It was just like, all right, he was taking you back to Superman's core. And then when Man of Steel came out, and I'm hearing all the negativity about that and about how it's too dark. But I was like, look, 2006, you got a light Superman movie and a lighthearted one trying to make you feel good, not only just as a comic book fan, but as a person, as a human being. And people complain it's too light, it's too this, it's too that. Then you get the Man of Steel, it's too dark, it's too this, it's too that. Make up your freaking mind.
Make your mind, right.
I personally, like I said, love both of them, Returns and Man of Steel, and for different reasons. They're just different movies, and I enjoyed them as their own separate movie.
Yeah.
So when people complain about it, and it's like now, look at the times, in real life from the time Man of Steel came out to now. Now people look back on Superman Returns, like, oh wow, that was such a good movie. It was this. I'm like, you weren't saying that shit 15 years ago.
No.
Right. Yep.
So I'm just like, look, I personally like Superman Returns. It still turns me into that little kid that went to see the Christopher Reeve movies back in the day when I watch it. And Man of Steel is for adult me. And that's just how I enjoy it.
Yes. That I can feel that.
I can go for that. Because that's how I enjoyed it. And like I said, I knew it was a direct sequel to Superman 2, and that's how I watched it. Like, okay, he's back now. He didn't know he had a kid. And even the mother, his mom was like, like, you've been gone a while, things changed. And he was, and then remember at the end of Superman 2, remember what he said? He said, look, they found evidence of where I'm from. I got to go check it out. And then you see him flying off into the space or whatever. So it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. They left that, they took advantage of that loophole in the storyline.
Yeah.
Right. So so check this out. I think you mentioned this earlier, Spade. They've got this new book coming out. Boom. I don't mean to cover you up like that, Spade, but it's called Dark Knights of Steel.
And Stu mentioned it earlier.
Oh, Stu mentioned that earlier.
Stu? Somebody
I was Stu.
Somebody says Superman goes to medieval times.
Yeah, Stu said that.
Okay. And so it says stunning dimension shifting. This world. Wait a minute, let me blow that up.
Yeah, blow that up for real.
So
that's dope.
Bomb. 1 of 12. Oh, I can't wait to get this.
Ooh, that's a cool looking cover right there, Stu.
Yeah, that's a nice variant right there.
Yes, compliments of Wade's Comics. Going down to Wade's Comics and get your Steel #1.
Yeah, shout out Wade's Comic Madness.
Shout out Wade Comics Madness. Without Wade's Comics, we won't have comics like this. Yes, sir. But this is the book you're talking about right here. This cover is the trading card cover. I've been collecting these ever since they started bringing them out. I get them. I'm gonna get them tagged and slabbed. Um, but I had to get. I think I got the last one of this one when I got it. So
Yeah.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
real. That's
So
real. I like that.
and that is, like you can see, it's called Dark Knights of Steel by Tom Taylor. The world is absolutely captivating and alluring. Once discovered, you will not want to leave. Uh, the highly anticipated Dark Knights of Steel by Tom Taylor and Yasmin uh, Putri is finally
Hmm.
out, and it's rolled on a nat 20 on charisma. So they're talking about like Dungeons and Dragons, where you roll the dice for your charisma rating and stuff like that. And so they were saying it's rolled a nat 20 on charisma. Basically, it's got very high charisma. And this duo would make the best of bards, and I'm absolutely in love with this Elseworld style fantasy arc. So this is like a medieval times fantasy, and the team is one of DC Comics' most brilliant choices. The medieval fantasy world pulls off cosmic chaos right from the beginning as our beloved characters are given new histories. The chemistry between Bruce Wayne and Kal-El is nothing short of beautiful, and the art is a blessing. We don't deserve Yasmin Pruti, but thank Rao that we have her. This is a unique and interesting take, filled with Dungeons and Dragons elements, exceptionally captivating to those who are into world building and canon divergence played with our beloved Batman and Superman. They open the DC Vault as well, with many iconic fan favorite characters also making an appearance. And we've only just begun. Roll for initiative. Man, I can't wait. Positives, the story. Oh heavens, let me be a Southern churchgoer and clutch my pearls because this sent me off into another universe. There are two major twists in this issue that will have you shrieking if you're a major fan of the world's finest team. From the beginning, they talk of the end. With our heroes, will our heroes be able to stop whatever evil or havoc is coming? The creativity and transforming DC characteristics, costumes, powers, and relationships into a fantasy setting is nothing short of genius. This issue focuses highly on the relationship and narrative between Bruce Wayne and the Kingdom of El, which encompasses our famous Kryptonian Kal-El. I can't help but be humored that Prince Cal is trapped in his castle, similar to Rapunzel from Tangled. Like an eager fighter, a rogue, he wants to battle alongside Bruce, but the Dark Knight is assigned to be his protector and to ensure Cal does not go missing or fall into danger, as there are black magic wielders after him and his kingdom. So Bruce is protecting Superman. What's going on here? The self-doubt Bruce carries in his internal dialogue had me melting. I feel for him deeply and believe that readers will as well. His self deprecation carries over and is very Bruce Wayne, even though we rarely see this part of him in mainstream comics. Unfortunately, as a character that in canon suffers from mental health issues, a low sense of self is something that comes along with the territory. Taylor does an excellent job of capturing this side of our beloved Bat Prince. The Dark Knight brings an intense devotion and dedication along with some religious allegory, while the Prince brings elements of magic. In the comic, greatly inspires your mind to travel and pulls you into a world of romanticism. So, are they saying that Superman is more of a magician in this, like a wizard? Because they said the Prince brings elements of magic. Is he a Kryptonian? Is he an alien, or is he in here? He's a magic user. Um, that said the positives 1.0, positives 2.0. Hold on, what are the negatives? That's positives 3. Okay, negative. I loved every section of this issue, so it's difficult to spot a negative. The dialogue, art, emotions, and story are heart wrenching and captivating. I found every detail mesmerizing. I thought this was a negative, and I'm in love with each panel. I believe it will be historical and one of DC's finest stories. This is the negative. My personal negative is a major part of a major spoilers. Bad grammar. I won't discuss the details, but there is a dynamic shift between Batman and Superman, which hurts my shipping heart. Oh, come on. Don't be shipping the people, man. Come on. Y'all cannot be shipping these men like this. Come on. Taylor did tell us he could not make those dreams come true, however. So will. All right. I'll take the relationship shift just so I can see more interactions between both of my favorite characters and watch their connection grow. This is too much. All right, this is gonna be a great comic though. This is great. I love the idea. I love DC characters in medieval fantasy. I'm sure we'll get Harley Quinn as like a jester. You know what I mean? And we'll see things. Maybe Wonder Woman. She'll be like a warrior. like a mage warrior or something, and we'll have like what do you call it? Green Lantern's gonna be the wizard or whatever. Stu Dog, I know you got to go, man. It's like 7:44. You've been on a little while extra. We appreciate that, but I know you got to take off, man. So salute, brother, and
Salute, brother.
we'll see
Catch you
you
guys
Monday.
Monday. Y'all see you Monday. Same
Monday.
All right,
time,
then,
same channel. All right.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be dope. What about you? I mean, you were listening intently. How do you think? Does that sound dope?
When you were talking about the Superman thing, asking about the magic, I would say probably part of his, just assuming probably his magics are his powers, because
Right.
they would have to call it, you know, magics back then. But it does sound like a really cool book to get into, and a storyline that would, you know, Sale definitely be interested in. I'm intrigued by it just from what you read about it, you know.
Yeah. I think it sounds dope. Salute Diamond Onyx. Peace. Thank you for hanging out with us. As always, very much respect to Diamond Onyx. So all right, Howard Johnson said, who do you think would win between Doomsday versus Mongol? He would pick Doomsday to win. Doomsday, he's pretty hard to beat. I mean, even Superman couldn't mess with him.
Darkseid couldn't even beat Doomsday, barely
Right.
beat him.
Right.
Darkseid did defeat him, and I'll put it in loose terms. But he had to send Doomsday away. The only reason he sent him away is because he couldn't control it.
Right.
And
So
so it's just like
he didn't defeat him. He just you know, like imprisoned him somewhere. Or
it's like, all right, you're more of a nuisance than anything, and you don't stop. So I'm not gonna bother with you anymore.
Right. Now we've been talking a little bit of Green Lantern, a little bit of Batman, and a little bit of Dark Knight's Metal. What do you know about this guy?
Which was Earth? What 32? Is that right?
I believe so. He's definitely Batman with some Green Lantern action, but he's got his face. I mean, you can't see it right here, but he's definitely not a good guy. I mean, he's not happy. His mouth is all twisted up. He's
Look,
got a
when
little
the hell is
scar.
Batman ever smiling anyway?
No, but this guy's growling. He's like, this guy is not. That's not Bruce as we know him.
Oh man.
Did you read any of his books or the books with this guy?
I want to say no. I've seen the character before, but I've never actually read books with him in it.
See, I know Howard Johnson, H. Johns in the chat right here. He said Dawnbreaker is his name. And I know you have, bro. I know he read all these Dark Knight because every time he comes in Instagram when I'm selling comics, he's always asking for Dark Knight's death metal comics. So I know that's his joint. I know that's his joint. So I know that's where this guy is from. But what a cool looking figure. Shout out to Almega Comic Crusaders. They sent me this as a gift. Now, this was one I had to pick up myself. This cat just looked crucial. Look at this spider. Look at this Batman, rather. You got the spiked trench coat and all of that.
Ooh.
I never seen nothing like this, man. He got the sickle. Like, is he Scarecrow? Like, is this guy from Dark Knight's Metal Death Metal 2? H.
I
John?
think he is. I want to say he is.
Yeah, it's gotta be. I mean, he's cool.
That's real cool. I got a friend of mine. I follow him on Instagram. His Instagram name is DM Cravens, but he is a huge Batman fan. And I was visiting with him earlier today, and I was telling him kind of like how, because he opens up his action figures too, and I was like, I still can't bring myself to do it, but you know, I want to try to. And but I was telling him about you and you know, your action figures and stuff, and he has like a lot of the death metal and Batman figures and different ones, and so he like most of the ones he opens are the builder figures because he wants to build the figures. I'm like, yeah, I can see that, and but I don't know if he's watching now, but it's just like he might watch it later. But it's just like, wow, man, just checking out his stuff and his action figures and junk is like just totally cool. He, like I said, he does or did charity work as Batman. You know, he would go around visiting kids in hospitals and stuff, and you know, just birthday parties and everything, and he would dress up as Batman. He was really, really good at it. He even had his car wasn't a like traditional Batmobile. It was his car, but Batman did out, so we always called it the Batmobile.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, Ace John said this is the newest character. I'm guessing he's something to do with Scarecrow. Maybe. I don't know. But he's definitely bad as hell. Yeah, and I've got probably like close to 80 Marvel Legends figures right up here. And then I've got there's other shit too. There's maybe 20 of the G.I. Joe classified. There's probably 50 Star Wars Black Series. But out of all those 80 Marvel Legends, I've never built one Build-A-Figure.
Really?
Not one.
Wow.
Because what they do is they always put like one or two characters that you just do not want. Like they're just trash. They're just garbage toys. To round out the Build-A-Figure. And I never understood that. Like I never got why. Like I get but it's like you're creating the problem to solve the problem. It's like, why put a character like, I get that, okay, well, let's make this a Build-A-Figure because they'll have to buy it to build the Build-A-Figure, so it'll make them buy it. But why create it at all? Just don't make it, and then you won't have to sell it. You know what I mean? Like, why make these toys that mean nothing? It's like, just make all the Build-A-Figure characters dope, and I would have built all of them. But when I only want 3 out of the 6, I'm not gonna waste $60-$70 to buy the other 3 that I don't want. I just haven't been able to bring myself to do it, man. And when you go on eBay and look for the Build-A-Figures, they charge you the same amount that it would cost to buy all the figures to build it. But so it's like, I don't get what they're thinking either, because why would I buy it from you when I could just buy all the figures, then I get the figures too? Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I just haven't.
He had my man I was telling you about, he had did the Dark Knights, Last Night on Earth, the Bane from that one. And he built that figure. I was like, I looked at it and I'm like, man, this thing is huge.
Yeah, bro. I want that. There's a few I really want. I really want the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure for Marvel. I really want the Venom Pool. And there's a sour story for that too. And I really want the Bane for the DC one. Like, DC's got some dope ones. But the Venom Pool, I actually bought the whole set, all the figures, all 6 or 7, however many it is, to buy to build the Venom Pool. I paid for it on this website called Classic Plastics Toy Store. Anybody watching this right now, remember this: Classic Plastics Toy Store will rip you off, take your money, send you nothing, and then lie about refunding you money. And then when you show them that they haven't refunded you shit, they just start blocking you and ignoring you. And
my goodness.
$158 out the window, flushed down the toilet, can't do nothing about it.
Shit.
I ordered all the I ordered all the like symbiotes and stuff that you had to get to build the Venom Pool figure, the new Venom and all of that, when it was supposed to be delivered. Nah, it was a pre-order. So after like 2 months, when it finally was supposed to be out and delivered, I'm seeing all these stores that they're out, and I'm like, so I hit up Classic Plastics Toy Store and I say, hey, look, everybody's got these things. How come you haven't sent mine yet? Oh, we're waiting for it. It hasn't come yet. I'm like, okay, well, if it hasn't, why has everybody else got them? Why you ain't? Well, our distributor was behind, or there was a mix of whatever. Fine, okay, all right, whatever. Just give me my joints ASAP. And of course, nothing happens. They never get them. And I'm like, listen, man, what's going on? And when I inquire again, they email me back saying, oh, we refunded your money.
But you never got your money.
First of all, I didn't want my money back. I want the figures.
Yeah.
So I didn't ask you for no refund. That right there was shiesty. Don't refund me when I don't want a refund.
When you don't ask for it.
I'm asking you for my figures. Send me my joints, or something. But don't just ask me if I want a refund. But don't just send me the refund, because here's what happens. I don't know what card they sent it to, or where they claim to have sent it, but it wasn't the card I used to buy it. So I don't know how they could have sent it to any other card, because they didn't got none of my other details. You know what I'm saying? I attempted to buy with PayPal, but it didn't go through. So I know they didn't have that. Long story short, man, they I showed them screenshots of my account that the refund never came. I went through all of the steps, and they just started blocking me and on Instagram and not answering my calls and not returning my joints and not emailing me back. And to the point, I'm like, listen, man, you basically stole my money. Like I paid this money, you didn't send me no character, you didn't send me no figures, and I didn't get no refund from you. So you stole my money. Like, what's going on? And so yeah, man. And all this took place like a year ago. Like this is forever ago. This is done. They been screwed me. There's nothing coming from them. So yeah, I've thought about really putting them on blast. They got a big Instagram page and all of that. Like I think I'm getting to the point where I'm gonna have to do something, man, because I want my
You
money.
have to, because one, that was messed up. You know that they didn't. Hey, we can't give you your figure, so would you like a refund? At least offer that.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna give you a figure, at least give you the offer of like choice, like would you like your refund?
Yeah.
And two, if you were like, no, I want my figures, do something to where I can get my figure.
Well, I even offered. I was like, look, why don't you go to a store that has them, buy them, and send them to me. Use my money that I paid you and go buy them and send them to me. I'll even send you some more money if it costs a little extra. Whatever it is, I just want the fix. I tried everything with these people. I did every, I made up every sort of circumstance, way that we could solve it, suggestions, whatever, and they just weren't trying to hear it. They just all around bad people. And when I told him that I was gonna put them on blast about it, he gets all defensive and he's like, oh, if that's what you want to do, we're just a small operation, and if you want to, cause a small business to have problems, like I'm the asshole.
Like you small business, but if you're gonna be a small business, you still have to have good business standards and practices.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like come on, B. You don't get a pass because you're a small business. You still gotta operate. You stole my money.
Yeah, that's thievery. You and I selling comic books, we're small businesses.
Right.
And
we're very small businesses.
Yeah.
They've got websites and all of this,
But it's like, man, you gonna steal somebody's money.
They have 2 brick and mortar locations. Like they got 2 stores.
Well, shit, you put them on blast then.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would have went to their stores, man, looking for my joints if I could get there, but I think they're in, like, I don't know where they are. They're Pennsylvania or Jersey. I mean, they're not out of the realm of pop. I'm not driving all that way, spend as much, on gas and shit as I did for the figures. It ain't worth it. But yeah, they about to go on blast heavy right now. They about to go on blast heavy. But
I was going to ask you. I picked this up like a long time ago, and a long ago, couple of months. It kind of changed the subject, but have you ever seen that book?
Nah. DC Comics super villains. Hold on, let me blow that up because I think. Boom, we got so it's Darkseid, Lex Luthor, Sinestro, Eobard, Cheetah, and Joker. Dope.
It tells about pretty much all the major super villains in DC lore, and even some of the minor was like Amazo, Solomon Grundy, Parasite is in this one, Metallo, Toyman. So
is it like because you have the DC version of this?
Mm-hmm.
And this is literally, they call it the Marvel Encyclopedia, but it's just every character, and like it tells about every character in Marvel. But it's got villains and heroes.
And like me and Stu would talk about, there's a Mongol right there.
That's Mongol. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dope.
So it was pretty cool, like introduction and list into some of the characters or villains that people might not have heard of, and even some that they expound on them.
Right.
So I was like, all right, but just like I said, being a geek and liking to read or loving to read, picked it up and just like, yeah, man, I'm gonna read through this. This is pretty cool. So I ain't even a third of the way through it yet.
That looks dope, man. That looks really dope. Well, let's okay, man. So that was a decent show, man. I learned, I think we learned a lot, man. We definitely talked about a lot of different stuff and learned some cool shit, heard about some new stuff coming down the pipe, man. It's gonna be awesome.
That steel book you was talking about, yeah, I'm definitely gonna be on the lookout for that.
Right.
Try to pick that up soon.
Yeah, man. That shit looks dope. And I'm about to read this Green Lanterns Guardians with Ion and all of that. That looks dope. Tyler Kirkham action. That's great. So yeah, man. Shout out to everybody. And Marita Parker, who came in and popped in, said Man of Steel was the best. Shout out Angelo Bolanos and Hard Chronic and Diamond Onyx and Howard Johnson and everybody that hung out, man, and talked in the chat. If you guys have any DC questions, feel free to ask Spade or Stu in the comments. Leave a comment, ask your question, and we'll get it back to you.
Yep.
And check us out Monday evening, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for those Instagram people, we got November 20th. We're gonna have Sammy from Skeleton Key Comics and Nerdy Girl, two female comic book sellers and fans and readers. And so we're just gonna talk about, being a female, being a woman in a male dominated hobby and things like that. So check that out, November 20th. But that's our show, man. Check us out, man. Monday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We always got something going down with y'all. Peace.
Peace.